But there's one thing absolutely clear, and that is Canada-India showdown is escalating and the situation not looking good between the two countries. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, barely 24 hours ago, claimed in the parliament of his country that his country was not, and this was after the whole pushback that he faced. He then said, we're not trying to provoke India, we're not trying to escalate matters, we're just suggesting that agents were linked to the murder of Khalistani extremist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. He said that he wanted India to address the issue properly. Canada's opposition leader, Pierre Poilievre, has slammed Prime Minister Trudeau for not revealing facts more than the claim that he has made in the parliament. All this was, remember, after Canadian Prime Minister initially in the parliament of his country claimed that there are credible allegations of a potential link that Indian agencies killed Khalistani leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Canada then expelled an Indian diplomat in retaliation to what they said we truly believe. But here's what happened. Canada, according to sources, tried to reach out to other allies, but Australia, United States of America and the close allies of Canada conveyed serious concerns because these were claims of a potential link that Trudeau was claiming. United Kingdom has meanwhile said that the trade deals with India and UK will continue.
Millions of Canadians can trace their roots and origins to different countries in the world, some of which do not hold by the same values and rules that we do. And it's important for everyone to feel safe in Canada. That's why keeping Canadians safe is one of our absolute top priorities, why we continue to work closely with security agencies and partners and allies around the world to ensure that the rule of law is respected and citizens are kept safe.
Yesterday, the shocking allegation that a Canadian citizen was killed on Canadian soil by a foreign government has rocked our country. People fleeing violence and persecution have always thought of Canada as a safe place, but now that sense of safety and security has been rocked. People are afraid for their lives. So my question to the Prime Minister, for people that have received credible threats of active credible threats of violence to their lives here in Canada, what is the plan to provide them with protection so they can be safe in Canada?
India Today's Gaurav Sawant spoke to senior Canadian journalist and author Terry Milewski on the Canadian provocation, and he's made some very significant points. Listen in, and remember, he's the author of the Khalistan Project, so pretty much an expert on Khalistan movement.
There is going to be a bare-knuckles brawl now between the two countries as a result of Trudeau's statement yesterday that he figures he has evidence that India has been sending hit squads out and has committed murder on Canadian soil. So far, the real issue is the hole in the heart of what Trudeau said, the hole being the complete lack of evidence. The evidence has been lacking ever since June the 18th when Hardeep Nijjar was gunned down. At the time, the Khalistani movement in Canada and elsewhere said, oh, the Indians did it, because apparently a series of 3 Khalistani leaders died at various places around the world. There was no connection. There was no evidence that India was involved, but they treated it as an article of faith. Why would he do it? Is because he's in a big hole. He's down in the polls, way down in the polls. If there were an election held tomorrow, there won't be, but if there were, then the Conservatives would almost certainly win it. He's facing a tiredness on the part of Canadians that he's had his turn. It's time for a change. So then add to that the humiliation that he received at the hands of Narendra Modi at the G20 in New Delhi, with Modi basically giving him a sort of not very diplomatic punch in the nose for harboring people who were painting targets on the backs of Indian diplomats. Police have said nothing about any Indian hand in this, and they have not even arrested the people who did the shooting. That suggests that this hole in the heart